Solid Hill TDS, J. Leo, Hitchhikers, check. I'ma spit fire and propane. Keep a little baggie of some veggies, your romaine. Zombie ass bitch tryna eat up the whole brain. While this bummy ass nigga still asking for more change. Get your taste buds lit, popping right under your tongue. Lighting up a sharp strain, feel like it's chopping your lungs. Smoke another leaf to the head, feeling like Danny Phantom. Got a medicine jar in my car full of zany samples. Running with the factions when my rations getting low. Get down on the floor, blood races like I'm whipping blow. Shit show for show, I don't know, I just release and go. Can't hear what you're saying, this sweet too loud and you're speaking low. Johnny smoking haze, ain't a blaze, I got heat to throw. Then I'm let the heater flow and send you to the heat below. Think it's a game, I pick the day before you let him roll. Think I'm insane, but from the start I never had control. Have you ever danced with the devil in the pale of the moonlight? Have you ever laid with a demon with the flames by your bedside? Smoking the air, sipping on spirits, get the mood right, get the crew hype. Middle fingers to the blue lights, dancing on your grave while I gaze into the moonlight.
Rolling through the city, heart is empty, but I'm feeling frisky, knowing I can make it even though these niggas wanna end me. Got some rolling papers and some bitches, yeah, we getting litty, feeling out of place. Fuck it, I got my niggas with me. We on a long road, smoking trees and bagging hoes. Love is faded, I'm jaded, consequences are never told. Running out of character, the real me is getting old. Facing the facade, 50 shades, and I fall below. I'm on some new shit, underworld a new bitch. Your loose lips tangle you up, I guess this news fits. I do this, spitting some fire in Meth Doom hits. The sun god bringing some light, now watch your mood switch. Hieroglyphs when writing scripts, namaste but conquering. Conjuring some spirits in the valleys where they die and quit. Just a gladiator on a righteous tip, still sharp and steel, but I'm colder than the Arctic gets.
Yeah, what's up, world? It's your boy, Wild Card Mod, aka Modelo Mod. What's up, y'all? Cheers. What I tell you, Modelo. Matter of fact, I'm gonna need all y'all go email Modelo CEO. Email their marketing team. Tell them that Wild Card Mod, aka Modelo Mod, is over here promoting the shit out of it. And to show their gratitude, they will send me a lifetime supply of Modelo and a check to help with the podcast. Yeah, dog. I'm kidding, y'all. Hey, I'm just happy. Happy to be here. Happy to be alive. Happy to be there. Happy to see family. Happy to talk to friends. Happy to talk sports with you guys. And before we do that, let's go over the preliminary. Talk about the stuff that pays the bills. Plug it. So we're gonna plug away. Going over to the website, www.IOWwonder19.com has all the information, all the platforms that we stream I.O.W. network content from. Also the Patreon, you can donate, help build the podcast, help build the brand. You can go get our merchandise, sweatshirts, hoodies, stuff like that. You know, if you are an Apple or iOS user, you can go over to your Apple store right now, download the I.O.W. network app, and if you're not able to see my beautiful face, you can at least hear my beautiful voice on our new app. If you are an Apple iOS user, no worry, Android users, the app for you guys are coming. It is coming. Be patient, and when it comes, download it, comment, give us feedback. We're all about feedback. We're all about trying to make the whole I.O.W. network brand better than ever. Of course, scrolling on the bottom of the screen, that is the artist of the intro song that we now I.O.W. Sports Late Night Hour Edition intro song. Of course, my guy, 40, aka Silent Hill, and his homie Jay Hill. Together, they are the Hitchhikers. So y'all go and spam they YouTube page. Again, scroll on the bottom, and you can page that Hitchhikers your page. And of course, that song was Pale Blue Devil Dance. I love that song. I made it my introduction song. So now we got that all that out the way. Of course, starting this week, I started some new segments. And of course, this segment, we're going to start with the laugh of the day. Now, I'm going to play this clip just to kind of set up why I went this route. And it's not to poke fun. I mean, it is poking fun. The internet is undefeated. Right? The internet is undefeated. For those who haven't heard the news of Aaron Donald facing assault charges, they took a picture of the victim's face. He's not a small dude. I ain't gonna lie. But the internet is undefeated. When I say undefeated, look what they did to this man. Oh goodness! So that's the guy that's filing the civil charges, and the internet is so wild, bro. They went and put Homer Simpson's face. I mean, damn internet, y'all some savages. But if that don't work for you, the internet got even crazy. You know what I'm saying? They even got even crazier. If you're not a fan of The Simpsons, maybe you're a fan of something else. Maybe you are a fan of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Anybody a fan of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? I mean, I am. Who doesn't like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Maybe this guy does it. I mean, this. Yo, the internet is foul. The internet is foul. I'm telling you. And so the internet is that type of place where if something embarrassing happens to you, you better hope two things didn't happen. You better hope that nobody got that on camera, like video, and you better hope nobody got pictures. Goodness. Oh my goodness gracious. That's kind of my laugh of the day. I'm scrolling through my timeline and I seen this man. Like come on y'all, internet. Why y'all gotta be so ruthless? I hope I never do anything embarrassing to ever land me on a meme of any sort. People land me off of any kind of comedy post or anything. So he was like me the last time. I hope I don't do anything embarrassing like that. So there you go. There's y'all laughs of the day. If you didn't laugh, then I don't know what to tell you. I laughed. She was hilarious to me. I don't know what to do for you guys, but if you didn't laugh, hey, he's his own. But anyway, let's get into Wild Card Mars, top play of the night. This comes from Vladimir Guerrero Jr. He is a first baseman for the Toronto Blue Jays, son of Vladimir Guerrero. If anybody's familiar with him, this is his baby boy, and he's taking up exactly where his father left off. Damn near mirror image, except he had hair. But his Blue Jays was in Kansas City, of course, home squad, woo-woo. took on the Royals. Even though it was a losing effort, he showed up, blasted a 456-foot home run. Instead of talking about it, here we go. Wild card playing tonight. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. blasted a home run, 456 feet.
So 2 down and the base is empty, and it'll be Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Vladdy tonight has a couple of hits. He has singled and doubled in addition to a fly ball to right field. That average up to 409 and the on-base percentage, 527. First pitch swinging, and he crushes it. Deep left center field. It's hit a mile. Guerrero with a home run, his 3rd on the season, and the Blue Jays are within 2.
Boy, the beauty of that swing, Dan, on top of the home run. I'm looking at the big picture right here. He had a double to left field. He had a single to right field, and then waits on that breaking ball from Kyle Zimmer and hits it to center field. Watch him lean back just a little bit and wait for that thing to break over the middle of the plate, recognizes it, and then hammers that thing to center field. So he's got 3 hits tonight, all of them to different fields. Wow.
Blasted that joint.
What a year he is putting together.
Straight blasted that joint. So there y'all go. Wild card mark top player tonight. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. blasting that 456 bomb. For anybody not familiar with baseball, of course, Royals are my hometown team. I've been to Coffee Stadium plenty of times. Beautiful stadium. One of the hardest ballparks to get a home run out. It's actually kind of bigger than most ballparks. It definitely has no short porch like in right field, like the New Yankee Stadium has. It has no short porch in left field like the Houston Astros have. You're looking at them, you gotta blast that joint. Vladimir Guerrero blast that damn baseball. They took orbit. So, if you guys notice right there, the players were wearing, every player today that played baseball and every player that will play tomorrow will be wearing 42 in honor of Jackie Robinson. If you're not familiar with Jackie Robinson, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what he did. But Jackie Robinson, first black player to integrate into the baseball scene, broke the color barrier pretty much. But here's some facts that I did not know about Jackie Robinson. Some information provided by ESPN and Mike Greenberg, today on their show. What show they got? I can't remember the Greeny show. But anyway, dope information that was dropped. Let's take a look at that information. My man Greeny, ESPN, take away with some of top facts we did not know about Jackie Robinson.
So today's Jackie Robinson.
Yes, it is.
If you sit down to watch a ball game with your kids tonight, or anytime today, you will see all the players are wearing the number 42. And the kids might say, well, why is that? And this gives you a great opportunity to tell them about Jackie Robinson. And so here are 5 things about Jackie Robinson you may not have known. You know he broke baseball's color line. You know what makes Jackie so important. But here are 5 things about Jackie that you may not know. Number 5. This one is remarkable. In the fall of 1941, Jackie Robinson joined the Honolulu Bears, which was a semi-pro football team. He played his last game with them at Pearl Harbor. He left the island and returned to California on December 5th, 1941. That is 2 days before Pearl Harbor was attacked and the day that will live in infamy. Jackie Robinson was there 2 days before. That's number 5.
Wow.
Number 4, just to understand the role and where we were the day that Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier on this day in 1947. Baseball was integrated more than a year before Harry Truman issued an executive order that began desegregating the military, and 7 years before Brown versus the Board of Education.
some
So
history
Jackie
right there,
Robinson
y'all.
was playing in the majors at a time when the military was segregated and the education system was segregated. He paved the way for integration across the United States of America.
Number three.
Number three, once he opened that door, it was wide open. Black superstars came streaming into
Wow,
the
you see that stat, y'all?
immediately. From 1949 to 1962,
11
of the
14.
14 MVPs in the National League
That's big.
were African American. Jackie
That's
Robinson,
big.
Roy Campanella 3 times, Willie Mays, Don Newcomb, Hank Aaron, Ernie Banks twice, Frank Robinson, and Maury Wills.
Wow.
So obviously, so many of the best players in the world were not being allowed to play.
Wow.
Jackie Robinson changes all of that, and you see what comes.
Number two.
Next, Jackie Robinson revived the art of stealing home. He did it 19 times.
That's not easy.
He stole home, which is the most of any player whose career comes after World War I. And his steal of home in the 1955 World Series, in the game in which Whitey Ford is the pitcher and Yogi Berra is the catcher, remains among the most memorable plays, and we're showing it right now on ESPN Plus. Among the most memorable plays in the history of baseball. In fact, I love the story. Yogi Berra, shortly before his death, they're in his museum in New Jersey, and that picture is hanging on the wall. And it's a picture of him, putting down the tag and Jackie Robinson sliding in. And Yogi Berra apparently just walked past it and just said, "You're out." He went to
That's
his
a cool
grave,
story.
believing Jackie Robinson was out when he stole home in the 55 World Series, but he was safe. And again, he stole home 19 times in his career.
Number one.
But number one, and I think this is the best one. You say to yourself, well, just how good a ball player was Jackie Robinson? This is a great job here by Hembo. From the 10 seasons from 1947 to 1956, the entirety of Jackie Robinson's career, only one player had more value than Robinson in the entire major leagues. If you look at WAR, the
That's
way they
consistency
calculate
right there.
and that was Stan Musial. In other words, Jackie Robinson was the second best player in the sport over a decade, despite all of the obstacles that he was facing, despite everything that was placed in his path. Jackie Robinson managed to be, by value, the second best player in the sport for a decade. And that is today's green list in honor of Jackie Robinson. So, again, as you have the kids gathered around, I mean, it pains me to think that we may be living in a world and in a time when we know as little about the history of sports as we do, that there are probably a lot of kids who don't know
about Jackie Robinson.
So, if your kid should ask.
Yep. Man, dope information right there from ESPN and Mike Greenberg about Jackie Robinson. To steal home plate one time is literally a feat that is damn near impossible. It is so hard to steal home plate. For those who ever play baseball, understand that, getting a stolen base to begin with is already a task, but to steal home plate, when you got somebody literally guarding home base and the catcher of the opposite team, to steal that plate and to do it 19 times, that's unbelievable. That is unbelievable. Again, man, I love that the Major League Baseball has, they've been celebrating Jackie Robinson Day pretty much the 15th every year. They started that tradition in 2004, where every player wears 42 in honor of Jackie Robinson. So I dig that for sure. Tim, what's up, player? How you doing, my brother? Appreciate the support, my guy. Always a pleasure to everybody to get some history, especially, people like Jackie Robinson, Roberto Clemente, that kind of help, get their names and start, showing that they've got the talent too to play in the Major League Baseball. So, big up again, rest in heaven, Jackie Robinson. Shout out again to all the Robinson family. But in other news, LaMarcus Aldridge, power forward, played majority of his career in Portland, went to San Antonio, got bought out this year, joined the Brooklyn Nets, and people kind of wondered why he didn't play last night. And it wasn't until today that he abruptly retired. Kind of shared a heart condition, and that's what caused his retirement. But I don't understand the heart situation. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a cardiologist, but when in doubt, I always go to my good friend, the YouTube doctor. He can kind of help shed some light. So let's kind of hear what Dr. Brian Sutter got to say about this.
This Aldridge shocked the sports world this morning when he announced his retirement from the NBA related to a heart condition that turns out he's actually had his whole life. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Dr. Brian Sutter, and this is your #1 source for learning about the unique medical side of sports. During Aldridge's rookie season, he was diagnosed with something called Wolff-Parkinson-White. In this video, I'm going to teach you exactly what in the world that is, and we'll talk about how our heart functions. As always, if you enjoy learning about this unique side of sports, please consider subscribing to the channel. Hit that thumbs up button if you learned something, and let's get started. Wolff-Parkinson-White is actually a congenital heart condition, something you're born with, but oftentimes isn't discovered until later on in life when symptoms present or it's incidentally found on an EKG. Let's start with just our heart anatomy, and then we'll talk about the electrical function of the heart. What I've done here is basically put a cross-section through our heart. So here this is going to be the back side of the heart, and this is going to be looking at the heart from the front. Once our body uses the oxygen in our blood, that blood returns to our heart into particularly the right side of the heart, first entering a structure called the right atrium. Blood feeds into the right atrium from the inferior vena cava and the superior vena cava to then ultimately get pumped into the right ventricle. The ventricles are the big pumping part of the heart. Blood goes from that right ventricle out into the lungs where it receives oxygen, comes back into the heart, into now the left side of the heart, goes into the left ventricle, and then from the left ventricle it gets pumped out to the body through the aorta. So our heart has to be constantly coordinating these pumping activities between the atria relaxing to receive the blood, to deliver it to the ventricles, and then the ventricles pumping that blood to either the lungs or to the body. And this is something our heart does on its own. It's an automatic process due to the way that electrical signals are conducted and generated within the heart muscle. The heart is a muscle, and a muscle needs electrical signal to contract and squeeze. This is highlighting that electrical pathway that delivers that electrical signal to the heart muscle. Think of this as sort of the wires of the heart. Everything begins up in the right atrium at a spot called the SA node, or the sinoatrial node. This location can generate an electrical signal on its own, completely independent from the rest of the body, and it gets this whole process going. That electrical charge is generated in the SA node and then delivered down through the atrium into the AV node, or the atrioventricular node. This is where all the coordination happens between what's going on in the atria to what needs to fire down to the ventricles, and then that signal gets conducted on through down into the ventricle cells. So as we're going about our normal life, this process is happening on its own. That electrical charge is being generated in the upper part of the heart. It's then being conducted through the heart cells into the various aspects of the heart to allow this proper coordination of how the heart muscle is squeezing. Whenever somebody has an arrhythmia, it's an abnormality of this conducting system. It's such a finely tuned process that if the coordination between how these different chambers of the heart are firing gets altered, you can have impaired contracting ability of that heart, and so you can't deliver blood to the rest of the body. In the case of Wolff-Parkinson-White, there's an extra pathway, or think of it as an extra wire, built into this system that allows for the heart to bypass the normal function and deliver an abnormal electrical signal. This picture here demonstrates that normal electrical pathway, starting up at that SA node, coming down into the atria, and then delivering that conduction through the ventricles. But this is the case in somebody with Wolff-Parkinson-White, where this blue is now demonstrating an extra accessory pathway that in this case we call the bundle of Kent. In WPW, whenever that electrical signal comes up through the ventricle, instead of being dissipated and only following one direction, it's allowed to continue up through the atria and basically bypass the coordination of that AV node to then reconduct electricity through that ventricle. People with Wolff-Parkinson-White are basically born with this accessory pathway that then can present into developing symptoms at any point in life. The danger here is when that pathway gets overactivated, you can develop more dangerous and potentially life-threatening heart arrhythmias. Remember, everything wants to conduct nice and coordinated from this SA node, but if you've got this extra bundle, this extra pathway in there, you throw off the coordination of this whole system, which limits the heart's ability to properly pump and deliver blood to the body. So now instead of that nice normal heartbeat, you end up with this very discoordinated, rapid, irregular heartbeat that doesn't allow the blood to properly fill up in the heart and then be squeezed properly to get blood to the body. And that's why a lot of the symptoms with these arrhythmias are things related to impaired blood flow to the body, like lightheadedness or dizziness. This impaired pumping can also limit the blood flow to the heart, which then can cause damage to the heart cells. This is often diagnosed based on an EKG, or an electrocardiogram, that thing that shows the tracing of the heartbeat. This is how that signal is generated. It's from that electrical conduction through the heart. Initially, we start up here in our SA node, and then as that signal goes down to the atria, that first little bump we see is called a P wave, and that's where the atria are squeezing or contracting. And then as that signal conducts down into the ventricles, we get that big spike, the QRS complex, from when the ventricles are firing. Then as that signal dissipates, we get another little hump, which is when everything sort of resets, and then the whole process just restarts. Whenever someone has Wolff-Parkinson-White, remember you've got this abnormal pathway of conduction that allows you to bypass that normal signal. And so you develop what we call more of a pre-excitation. Those ventricles get excited sooner than they should. And so what that corresponds to on the EKG is a little bit of a bump that we see before that large spike called a delta wave. That little delta wave is from when those ventricles get discharged too soon. Now, Aldridge reportedly underwent some different procedures in his career to try and basically fix this problem. They can do something called a cardiac ablation, where they feed a wire up into the heart and basically try to burn away or destroy this accessory pathway, essentially trying to cut the wire or close the door, so to speak, so that signal can't get up through here. Unfortunately for Aldridge, it didn't completely get rid of the condition, and it appears that things have kind of come back to bother him more. It's great they caught this early in his career, because these are the types of things that we can hear about leading to sudden cardiac death in athletes if they develop to such a severe point where we don't discover it until it's too late. So something we definitely haven't talked about on the channel before, but I hope this was educational and interesting to look at how the heart functions, and specifically what this Wolff-Parkinson-White diagnosis is that Aldridge had. That's it for the video, everybody. Let me know any questions or comments down below, and until next time, we'll see you later. Bye.
Hey, you know, I try to be informative, educational here on the show. So, you know, there's a doc. So y'all go check out his presentation at the study. You know, broke it down. So maybe that was a good thing they caught this, man. By the sound of what the doctor was explaining it, man. You know, that's something you don't want to play with when it comes to the heart. I saw the reports from Mark Aldridge pretty much reporting, like, you know, kind of the symptoms that the doctor was explaining. His heartbeat was irregular, was having problems controlling that, was feeling lightheaded, and he got it checked out. So, you know, good for him. You know, there comes a point in time where sports can take a back seat. Sports can, you know, eventually, it can get pushed to the side for more important things. And one of those things, of course, is your health. You know, the thing he caught that, because God forbid he'd been on the court, you know, fell out or passed out. Now has a kind of cardiac arrest situation going on, and the worst thing. So, big up to him. Realizes that, you know, to handle the situation that can save his life. So, big up to him. I'm watching the end of this Lakers Celtics game. 17 minutes left. Lakers down. Today. Looks like they're not going to pull it out, but you know, it's all good. We'll kind of discuss that once this game goes final. But we did get some big news in Laker land for all my Laker peeps out there, like myself. We might be able to rejoice on the return of Anthony Davis. The big news coming out of there, Anthony Davis finally cleared for be a full participant in practice. And him joining the lineup is near. Oh, come on. Yeah, like it's not playing this game. It's not good. But Anthony Davis will soon be able to join the lineup. Let's get a little update on Anthony Davis' injury report.
Obviously, it was very sad for Laker fans when Anthony Davis went down with injury, but it looks like he's going to be back soon. So we've got an update on Anthony Davis's injury. Anthony Davis has been cleared for full on-court activity and can begin his ramp up to return to play per Frank Vogel. Unlikely Anthony Davis plays in the Utah game, but not out of the question. Definitely good news for the Lakers. And Vogel also said that Davis would likely play in short bursts. You don't want to rush a player back who's been on a big injury like this. He's been gone for quite a few months. You don't want to rush him back and have him re-injure the same thing. So obviously you don't want to have him, ramping up to playing activity so fast, because that could be really bad. And the Lakers are going to be playing the Jazz 2 times, on Saturday the 17th and on Monday the 19th of April. So those are the 2 dates where they're going to be playing. And also, guys, if you're enjoying, I would really appreciate if you subscribed. Anyways, let's continue on. Yeah, so those are the 2 days they're going to be playing, and there could be a chance he comes back for those games, but I would bet that if he doesn't come back for those games against Utah, we would probably be seeing him in their next game against the Mavericks on Thursday, April 22nd. So yeah, guys, there's the Anthony Davis injury update. I hope you did go on to enjoy it. If you did, be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
There it is. Best joyous news to the Lakers, and I'm telling you it is. Of course, Andre Drummond didn't play tonight, which actually Mark Gasol showed that he might have to go to the left in the gas tank, so that's always encouraging. So then you can get a good rotation between those two at center for sure. You can't beat that. Now, I will say, having Anthony Davis back in the lineup does, of course, get walking double back in the lineup. You can't do that. Definitely a power forward that can create his own shot. Here's my thing about Anthony Davis. His durability really scared me. He was having durability issues in New Orleans when he first got drafted. And, there were times where you're wondering, is he ever going to be able to stay healthy? I'm pretty sure the Lakers are going to be real cautious of trying to ramp up his minutes. You want to ease him in, of course. Everybody knows that. But just with his case, he is a player that is very intricate to the success of the Lakers. Very, in my opinion, very necessary for them to repeat. If he comes back within a week, it's probably almost probably 4 weeks left, maybe 5 weeks left in the NBA season. It'll be good to start getting him back in the game shape. Get him, ready and prepared to get him ready for the playoff play. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. So 16 games left in their season. Playoff. And of course, I've already went down the line of what happens with this playoff new system that the NBA has. Pretty much in the standings, from 7 to 10, they have their own little tournament. 7 seed plays 8 seed. The loser of that plays the winner of 9 versus 10. The loser of 9 versus 10 is out. The loser of 7 and 8 plays the winner of 9 and 10. And then that game makes it the final 8 seed. And sounds weird. It sounds crazy. That's what the NBA is doing now. That's what they're doing. I guess to excite for playoff situation. I don't know. I don't get it. And honestly, a lot of players have kind of not been in favor. Luka Doncic himself, the most prominent name, hasn't been a fan of this whole playing tournament. We'll see what happens. But everybody rocks the show. So I was just thinking about this the other day. Yes, we're going to get Anthony Davis back. But like this, I think it's going to come around back. Last 16 games. I was thinking, why not have Andre Drummond, your primary offensive weapon? Think about this. And Andre Drummond is not an offensive player. But what he can do is control the paint. And with a lot of NBA teams, game plan is to play the perimeter. Why not have Andre Drummond primary offensive weapon? And he dominate the paint. And eventually make the opposing team feel that they have to double. So I'm triple Andre Drummond. And then make sure Andre Drummond, you coach him up on seeing the pass, seeing the open player of the guy that pretty much collapsed on me. Because if he's getting doubled, obviously there's somebody open. So get him coached up on finding an outlet pass. If you find him, they kick out pass to somebody. Or just get the open shot wherever the guy is. I think that they can build an offense around Andre Drummond. One, to get his confidence up, get his play up. Because if he's dominating the paint, getting 20, 15, getting 20 points, 15 boards. I mean, he's already averaging about 15 points every day. He's averaging about 14, 15 rebounds a game. Why not utilize that? That can help get Davis in the floor again. Have to rush him into the game. He's come up injured. That'll get LeBron slowly integrated. And especially with LeBron, because LeBron is a facilitator. We know this. Yes, he can create some shots, but he's not a facilitator. So if you got him coming up the court with the ball, and then they're already looking at LeBron got the ball, we got to come in. Then get Andre Drummond, monster in this, and be able to look at those kick out. Maybe I'm crazy, maybe I am way off. I think it's a good thing. Get Andre involved heavy, early. Make the foundation for the offensive game plan. They can monster the paint. What teams are operating from the paint out now? Nobody. You don't see NBA franchises operating their offense from the paint and what counts as perimeter. Everybody's working from the perimeter. Let's just jack up a whole bunch of threes and hope we get offensive rebounds. People are playing positionless small ball. Andre Drummond, he can body a home. Maybe not the court of but what big guys out there in the NBA can you compare to Andre Drummond? I'm not talking skill-wise, I'm talking just body type-wise. Not a lot of guys that are going to be the same size as him. Look, Andre Drummond's still young, 28. If I'm the Lakers, I would definitely consider re-signing him and get a full year with AD and LeBron next year. I would definitely consider that. You got to. look how the Lakers look so different without JaVale in the White House. And you're not asking them to be scorers. You're asking them to be rebounders, defenders, rim protectors, guardians of the paint. And then you let them walk out the building, bring in Marc Gasol. He's a little bit up there in age, but I don't know. I felt even tonight, Marc Gasol had a real good game. 21 minutes. Marc Gasol was 7% shooting 4 from 6 behind the arc. I mean, you can't beat that. 4 boards, 3 assists. I would like him to get to the free throw line. Or he didn't make it at all to the free throw line, but I like him. If you give him production like that, you add in Andre Drummond's production, he's a walking double. You can rotate them. You can slowly integrate AD offensively. Barney is back, same thing. They be ready for the playoffs. At one point, I'm not going to lie, as a Lakers fan, I'm like, damn, it's getting real grim for my boys. It's getting real grim. We got injuries all over the place. But I think injuries have been affecting every team this year. I mean, you see what's going on with the Nets. They have the injuries, of course, the Lakers. Jamal Murray just went down for the Nuggets. Now, with that injury with Jamal Murray, it's a big loss, huge loss. But I think they still have enough to hold them over. And in the day stream with Detroit Mel, he played a clip of Kendrick Perkins, and he seems that the Nets without Jamal Murray are one and done first round exit type of team. Now, I agree and disagree at the same time. Let me explain. It depends on the seeding of what goes down closer to play. So if the Nuggets were seeded, okay, so for example, right now, if the playoffs were exactly how they are, 1 through 8, everything's settled with the whole weird playoff situation. Denver would be a 4 seed. They would play a 5 seed. And right now, the 5 seed would be the Lakers. If that were to be their matchup in the first round, you're talking about the Lakers getting LeBron back, AD back. They're the first round exit team. So Perkins has a point. He has a legitimate case in regards to being a one and done first round exit team if they would play a team like Lakers. Yeah. Perkins is right. But if they were playing Portland, Dallas, Memphis, I don't see them as the first round. And I say that because I think that Aaron Gordon trade really kind of helped solidify that team. Before the Murray was down, he had a solid option at point guard with Jamal Murray, a solid power forward with Aaron Gordon, and a solid center in Nikola Jokic. Michael Porter Jr., whatever you want to say about him, he does have some good ball, can shoot the ball, mid-range game, every now and then we'll shoot the 3. But that's a solid team. But here's my thing. What will the Nuggets do at that position, knowing that Jamal's not coming back? Me and Detroit Mel said it earlier today. We both think that Jamal Crawford would be a great person to plug in. And honestly, he should go handle that situation now. I don't know who they plan on bringing in to help replace Jamal Murray. I haven't seen any news on whom they signed or to get in to the building to sign. But they got to make a decision on that yesterday. They should have been on the phone, calling agents right when Jamal Murray went down. Right when he went down, they should have been on the phone, calling whoever. I think it's Jamal Crawford. Let's go get Jamal Crawford. I was just listening to Charlotte's podcast, and he had Jamal Crawford on there, and he still got some game left. He's up there in the age 39, 40, something around there. But he still got still can do, still can shoot. Off Cream. I think go get. The NBA's just been affected by injuries all season. Zach LaVine's just went down. He's probably out for this season. It's not just injuries; it's injury to big names. Guys that are important to their team. The boys, Wiseman just before the did last season for Iowa, he'll probably be out for the season. Golden State's been getting by the end of Steph's been good, Draymond's been good. Wiseman's out for the rest of the season. Of course, he didn't play with Clay at all. He got hurt in training camp. Injuries have been helping a lot of teams this year. Their potential to do something great and something awesome. But we'll see what happens with that. We'll see if what the Lakers are going to be able to do in the meantime. In the next, let's say the 16 games left on their schedule. Probably other teams got the same count. But look, it's that time of the year in the NBA. You got to make something happen. And one quick thing on the Jamal Murray injury, with it being so late, trade deadline already happened. At this point, it's finding free agent. Just the timing that they can But we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. Everybody pay attention to the whole NBA. They are getting closer and closer to playoff time. That's what happens. It's knuckle up time. Put up the shirt time. Tonight, I don't know if anybody that paid attention, but tonight was the WNBA draft for the Women's National Basketball Association. Got to show some love to the ladies of the WNBA. The number one pick will do a little quick spotlight for 30 seconds. Pretty much, there's 12 teams in the WNBA. We're trying to find the spot where the ladies in the first round went. Come on now. Here we go. Charlie Collier. We'll do a spotlight on her. She's number 1 and 2. The Dallas Wings. Second overall pick. Awad Kuye. Philly. Dallas Wings. Atlanta Dream. Pick Ari McDonald. Guard from Arizona. Pick 3. Pierce Andrick. He's an Indiana Fever at 4. Dallas Wings got Chelsea Dungy at 5. New York Liberty took Michaela Onunere. You know, as ladies from the name, I'm sorry. Just make you can't sit. 7th pick, Los Angeles Sparks with Jack Walker. 8th pick, Chicago Sky. Pick Shyla Hill. Number 9, Minnesota Lynx, Renia Davis. Number 10 pick, Stephanie Watts went to the Los Angeles Sparks. Pick 11, in Seattle Storm, pick Aaliyah Wilson. And then, last but not least, in the first round, Liliana Rupert from France went to the Los Angeles Aces. You know, some names I'm not familiar with. Some, you know, I will do my research on just, you know, support the ladies. You know, we gotta support the women's sports hockey. Yeah. You know, can't be all about the fellas. Always gotta show some love to the ladies, because the ladies be putting down. You know, we gotta start supporting the WNBA. If you are a true, pure lover of basketball, we gotta start supporting these women. Even they legalize. You know, they put in just as much effort in the game like the men. And, you know, they sacrifice time and you know, just like the men. So, you know, we gotta start showing them showing some support. But overall pick, Charlie Collier. She's a guard from Texas. You don't get to know her. Take a look.
Charlie Collier, forward, Houston, Texas. I got started playing basketball when I was around 5 years old. My mom and dad took me outside and we just played in the driveway, and ever since I played Little League, and I'm here now. My favorite basketball memory is being named as a McDonald's All-American, because as a high school player, that's the highest honor you can get, and so that just shows how much I've worked through high school, and it means a lot to me. I fell in love with the game of basketball when I started getting more competitive with it around the 7th grade. I started playing I.O.W, and ever since I like to travel with the team and do team-oriented things. So basketball just was a way for me to also, you know, ball out, but, you know, get to know people. Something that most people don't know about me is that I'm actually a great swimmer. I was on the AAU swim team like back in the day, and I was really good, and I placed in nationals. I'm driven to be successful because of my father. I followed his motto a long time ago, is just to be great and no one can stop you but yourself. So I just follow that, and that's why I succeed like how I do, because I follow that every day. During the recruiting process, I felt like Texas was the best fit for me, mostly because I know the coaching staff very well. It's close to my home, and my family can also see me play, and I fit in very well with the team. My biggest basketball accomplishment is surpassing 3,500 career points in my high school career. I'm most looking forward to traveling with the team. Of course, we play games, but it's all about, you know, bonding and stuff like that. Being a freshman, you want to get to know the ropes, and so looking forward to hanging out with all the girls.
There it is, Charlie Collier. So we got to know a little bit about Charlie. You know, hey, she's a swimmer. Girl can swim. I might get some swimming lessons from Charlie. She looks good. Hey, I'm good. She is beautiful though. You know, it's always good to see great stories. Athletes that are about to, you know, go on and do bigger things, hopefully. So, hey, everybody, if you love basketball, let's start supporting these women. Show them some love. You just listen to her, she's committed. The women, they are committed. Hey, look, and if you saw some of the great action plays was putting on in college tournament this year, it transferred that time transfers over to the WNBA. Enjoy it. You know, some do go overseas. You might be better, but you know, we'll see about that. Another basketball game. Me being a big Lakers fan, I've always been a fan, right? You all know about it. Kids signing there last year, early 2020, the helicopter accident. But great news today. Michael Jordan will be conductor of Kobe Bryant. And MJ and Kobe friendship, their competition with you and also smack each other. I'm hoping we get some like this great story. Like, I might be biased, but to me, it's the closest thing to MJ. It's Kobe. You know, there's so many moves that MJ did. We see Kobe all the time. I mean, it was the, you know, the post up, that ball, you know, it clears a certain mannerism that Kobe does. This is big. To me, this is such a big tribute to Kobe by having MJ. I mean, yeah, I can't wait to hear next week. Honestly, you know, I don't know any other options. Your word, Kobe, of course, you can go with his wife. You know, the baby, you know, she's probably emotionally drained out, but you know, who knows why? You know, she's not doing it. But I mean, you can't beat this option of MJ and done Kobe Bryant. I mean, you really got two of the greatest players at the same time in a Hall of Fame. I mean, I can only imagine the stories we're going to hear because these Kobe's going to say that I'm pretty sure it's going to be pretty emotional. So having the popcorn ready and your cookies is ready. You know, I ain't going to run. You know, I might cry. It's okay to cry, fellas. It's good. It's all right. But big news that dropped today that Kobe's getting the get by MJ. So that's going to be a great night for sport and basketball for sure. But we have come to that time of the show, y'all, that I say adieu each night. We appreciate you guys coming in, being supporters of the I.O.W network, the show, and hey, it's been great. Of course, as traditional, we will lead with good words, and of course, a song 40 Water, aka Time to Give, rolling on the bottom of the screen right now. Song Pick and Roll. But look, God willing, we will see y'all tomorrow. We will talk more sports. Until then, hug somebody, love somebody. Peace, world.
Solid Hill TDS. Hitchhikers. Let's go. Yo. Pick and roll with the bowl, whoa, watch the smoke unload. Let my soul sink into the flow, feel the flames below, ready to go. Light another pack, watch the blunt roll, let it go. Release to the beast, about to take control. Overload, burn another shrub to keep my mind sedated. Elevated, felt elated from withdrawal but never faded. Alcohol pumping out my system in need of patience. Point blatant, do it in reverse until the points taken. Put it in work to muscles jerk and my joints aching. Numbers don't lie, but I think these niggas point shaving. I am on another high. You can only taste the fragrance floating on the stroke. Bodies below twisted, agitated. Hand me another gram, watch me break down and light this bitch. Explosive tendencies, watch me spark and ignite this shit. Put the game in a chokehold with a tightened grip. Niggas inciting shit, hoes peeping, they bite their lips. Cold hearted bastard, give a hot bitch an icy kiss. Take a buzz to another level, then heighten it. My karma is Dalai Lama, the smoke for enlightenment. Nigga drag me to hell with all the hounds and Leviathan things. Reach for a pack of guards, cause I'm about to smoke a quick. Pussy popping and percolate, I just want the smoke circulate. Losers will spectate and the haters will speculate, but I'm too busy taking all this vapor straight to the face. Damn. Shit. Oh, man. Shit, you got light. Fuck that. Shit. Pick and roll with the bowl, whoa, watch the smoking low. Let my soul sink into the flow. Feel the flames below, ready to go. Light another pack, watch the blood go roll. Let it go, reach to the beat, about to take control. Pick and roll with the bowl, whoa, watch the smoking low. Let my soul sink into the flow. Feel the flames below, ready to go. Light another pack, watch the blood go roll. Let it go, reach to the beat, about to take control.